Hello, and welcome to this edition of Everything is Terrible. I'm your host, Lauren. So, I love being able to log on to Twitter, and after seeing the ginormous dumpster fire that is our country, just devolving completely, slide on over to writer Twitter, which is a little bit different. It's usually more memes, way more people being concerned about their caffeine intake. I resonate with those people. And this has been going on for about, like 2 months now, possibly. I'm going to talk about the delightful incident. Can't believe this is a word I have to say. Cockygate. Hashtag Coffeegate. Cockygate. Not coffee. I wish it was Coffeegate. It's Cockygate. And I'm so fired up about it. Y'all, it's hot here. I don't have AC because my house is like 200 years old. So I just have every window open. It's hot. And what happens when someone like myself gets a little too warm? We get cranky and we get tired. And then we see bullshit that happens and we can't keep our mouth shut about it. So that's what today's going to be about. I can't keep my mouth shut about anything. I have to unlock my phone. I took notes, by the way. I did homework for this video because, for multiple reasons. I think it's actually a really important issue to discuss. This video is going to be a lot of me ranting because I am so angry about the entire situation. But I did homework, mostly to not sound like a complete idiot, and also to kind of give people some touchstones, some help, maybe a little, some sort of like, oh, that's what that means? Yeah. So I did a lot of Googling, and I will be posting links in the comments or underneath in the little description thingy so that you can follow this on your own. I'm not going to guarantee that it's going to be 100% accurate. I don't have a law degree, so this is really just my own understanding of what this entire situation has turned into, other than the fact that it's utter trash. So, I have notes on my phone, so I apologize for looking down. For those of you who don't know, there is an author whose name is Felina Hopkins, and she writes romance. Okay, great, cool. I believe it was a couple months ago, she started sending letters out to other indie authors. She's indie. To other indie authors, basically saying that they used her word and by law she had the right to sue them. So that's the beginning. I'm not going to get into a whole lot of the antics that she's done because honestly it's all just a publicity stunt and it's really abhorrent. I will say though, for her copywriting, I think it was the legislation, like her case went to court in New York, and one of my tweets was used as evidence by her defense attorney. And I think it was just because they like screenshotted, like they went onto the hashtag. By the way, the hashtag is #Cockygate, one word. And they went on and they probably just screenshotted a bunch of different comments, but mine was in there. And my friend sent it to me and she was like, dude, you're evidence. And I was like, hell yeah, I am. I hope that bitch burns. No, I'm kidding. But I mean, her behavior is extremely abhorrent. And it's all just garbage. But this is why it's troubling. So if it was just a publicity stunt, we could all kind of be like, all right, well, that sucks, and move on. Except it creates legal precedents that affects everyone. All creative people who use words are affected by this. And because she couldn't just let it go, we all now have to keep a hawk's eye on every single patent that's being put in for trademarking. This is why I drink coffee. This is why I drink alcohol. This is why I am so very tired today on this very hot, beautiful Saturday. Speaking of coffee, let's get into it. So, we're not going to talk about her publicity stunt bullshit, but it created a domino effect that now affects all genres, all creative people. And I looked into trademarking specifically because I don't have anything trademarked really, nothing of importance, because I haven't needed to, because I don't have a brand yet. So I haven't needed to trademark anything, which means I had to Google how to trademark things. And from what I can tell, the only reason you should be trademarking something is if you're a brand and you want to differentiate between other items in the market. So it's basically like Nike is a brand. Their logo is a brand. It's recognizable as Nike. So you trademark that so that nobody else can use that, nobody else can use your name, and it doesn't confuse consumers. So it's for clarification is the purest form of trademarking. However, it's being used for evil instead of good. So you protect your business and it prevents confusion in the market. So, like I said, Nike is trademarked for athletic apparel. Well, if somebody else came in and tried to make a tennis shoe and called it Nike, that's trademark infringement because there's already a Nike making tennis shoes. Now, that doesn't mean you can't make shoes. It just means you can't name it Nike and you can't use the logo and you can't do any of that because that's not yours to use. Nobody's going to prevent you from making tennis shoes, though. You can make shoes. You can make athletic apparel. You can do whatever you want. You just can't use their name. So here's where it gets murky, at very least murky. That is not what happened with the Felina Hopkins situation. She tried to trademark a word, not a brand. She tried to trademark commonly used words. Also, from what I remember, by the way, if you have Twitter, if you are just bored, go on Twitter, check out the hashtag of Cockygate, and then also the hashtag of by Felina, which, by the way, super clever, and I love it. Check out those hashtags, look through the timeline because it gives a really concise and really in-depth look at like what happened. Like go all the way to the beginning. Pop yourself some popcorn, pour yourself a glass of wine, enjoy it because it's hilarious. But it's also really troubling. And the troubling part is what made me go, why did she have to do this? Why? And why did people have to jump on the bandwagon? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go back. I digress. So what happened is she tried to trademark a commonly used word, and she writes in the romance genre. So she tried to trademark the word cocky. Can't believe I'm having to say that word. Probably going to say it like a million times in this video. That's fine. But she tried to trademark that word. In the romance genre, that's a pretty commonly used word. And there's actually already series out there that use the word cocky as part of their title, whatever. So she tried to trademark that word. And then she started saying, oh, no, I'm only trademarking this. Except she wasn't. She was trademarking a word. She was trying to trademark a singular word that is found in the Webster's Dictionary, Oxford English Dictionary, that people use on a daily basis. She's trying to say that it was hers. And then she started sending cease and desist letters to people, not cease and desist, maybe? She was emailing people, basically threatening them with lawsuits, saying, you can't use my word. Okay, but the trademark hadn't even gone through yet. So it was all bullying. So she started bullying people. I said I wasn't going to get into her antics, but it's kind of like, it's impervious, or not impervious, it's too hot, I can't think. It's ingrained, thank you, it's ingrained. It is ingrained in this entire situation that, love that I said thank you to nobody. Thank you, you guys are out there, thank you. It's ingrained in this entire situation that she did this, and it's so absurd, you guys. So, and she trademarked it. I think she started to trademark it for romance, and then she just went on and did like full whole hog, I'm trademarking the word, period. So what does that mean? What happened was, so this got traction. People started going, wait, hold on, because people were upset, right? They're getting they're getting emails, they're getting letters, they're getting tweets and DMs from somebody that they don't even know saying, hey, you're using my word, I'm going to sue you. And they went, where did you come from? We don't know who you are. And then it became a thing. And then other people saw that, I guess they're using the old adage that there's no such thing as bad publicity, which is not true. But, oh, hi. Odin wanted to come say hi. But they jumped on this bandwagon. Other authors, other people decided that trademarking was their way to get, I don't know, readers, publicity. They wanted people to know who they were. I don't know. So because she tried to trademark, it set legal precedence. She trademarked a single word. It set legal precedence, which means other people can go, oh, well, I'm going to trademark a word. So then there were patents being sent in to the patent office that were for words like rebellion and shifter. And there's like dozens others now. And now today I've learned, I'm so disappointed. There's another creative out there. I don't want to call her an author, but she creates like coloring books, like really intricate coloring books. And she has tried to trademark her titles for these books, which I don't think would normally be a problem, except one of the titles for her books is already the title of a book in a play called Secret Garden. That's been around for a while. I was in that play. You can't trademark that. That doesn't belong to you. You didn't even invent that. Okay, sure. But you're going to try and trademark it. So I'm disappointed in that behavior as well. But people just got really shitty about it. They were like, okay, well, that person did it. I'm going to do it too. No. No, no, no. No. I am turning into your mother, and I'm going to tell you that if other people are jumping off a bridge, don't do it too. And that's what they're doing. They're effectively jumping off of a career bridge. They could have been nice. They could have been sensible. They could have just not been assholes. And instead, they're trying to trademark commonly used words. So what that means is, so if these trademarks went through, right? If people got their patents for words like rebellion. So like if you were trying to write a book, sci-fi, whatever, and you wanted to name it Rebellion or have Rebellion in the title, if that trademark goes through for Rebellion, that word doesn't belong to you anymore. It belongs to that person. And that person then gets paid either because they're going to sue you because you deigned to use their word without their permission, or you have to pay them to use it. And even if you don't pay them to use it, if you fight the patent, like say you use it anyway in your title, rebellion, blah, 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 and you didn't pay the person, they're going to sue you. Well, as we all know, court costs are absurd. They're really fucking expensive. You have to pay for a lawyer, you have to pay for court fees, and you might even have to get a PR firm involved. There's all of these different things. You have to pay for the patent. If you want to patent something, like if I wanted to patent Rebellion 2.0 or whatever, I'd have to pay for that. And they're not extremely expensive, but if you are already at a certain level with your income, every dollar matters. And trust me, I've been there. Like, I couldn't afford to pay for certain book materials until I got like my tax refund. You know what I mean? So it's that kind of level where every dollar matters. So if you try to use that word and then you get sued, you can't even afford to defend yourself. So then you're prevented from writing. You're prevented from putting out your book. And some people are like, oh, well, just don't use that word in the title. Right, but that's not the point. The point is that you shouldn't be able to trademark commonly used words. Nobody in their right mind is going to confuse, because that's the reason for a trademark, is to help prevent confusion in consumers and to help prevent people from going, well, to use the Nike example, well, I bought these tennis shoes, I thought they were Nike, but it's the other Nike. Well, that's why we have trademarks. And so there is no other Nike. There's Adidas, there's New Balance, there's all of these other ones that are not paying me at all, so this is not an endorsement. But that's why we have those. That's why we have trademarks, is so that people don't get confused with what product they're buying. Nobody in their right mind is going to get confused by the use of the word rebellion or the use of the word cocky in romance. Readers are smart, and that was another thing that really upset me, fired up about it. There was an implication in her court case that her readers are so stupid that they don't know which books are hers. Let that sink in for a second. This author not only is trying to limit the abilities of other authors, she's also heavily implying that her readers are so dumb that every other book that has the word cocky in it needs to be taken off shelves, needs to be removed from any sort of Amazon list. Otherwise, they won't know what they're buying. How about we just get rid of you instead? That's what I think. Like, how about you just go away? The readers are fine. And here's the thing. Like, if somebody bought a book, like if somebody was searching for my book and they bought somebody else's book on accident, whoops. Well, clearly that book sounded interesting enough that they wanted to read it. Good for them. It doesn't prevent somebody buying somebody else's book does not prevent them from also buying my book, unless it's the last day on Earth, and then, does it matter? No, it doesn't, because we're going to get hit by a meteor. So who gives a shit? So her implications on all of these levels, that she's saying that her readers are too dumb, that people shouldn't be able to use these words, and that the word itself, cocky, is synonymous with her books, when nobody has heard of this woman, is beyond upsetting. Like, beyond upsetting. And I'm trying to stick to my notes, but I'm just too fired up about it. So the reason I got into this because I read it on Twitter and then went, the fuck you say? And I reread it and then followed the hashtag, and now I'm deeply involved. And then my tweet got used as evidence, so now I'm just in it. But the reason people should care is that how would you like it if you couldn't even use that word in a tweet on Facebook? Couldn't even use a blog post that had any sort of word. If I trademarked coffee and then somebody else wanted to be like, oh, I'm going to go get coffee, do you really want to have to unironically put a little TM next to coffee and pay me 5 cents every time you say the word coffee? No. And guess what? I don't want that either. You shouldn't limit that. It's a form of censorship. It's a form of censorship to prevent people from using words, not brand names, not any sort of, we're creating a product that might get confused with your product, whoopsie daisy. No. Just preventing people from using specific words. That's a form of censorship. And then also, say it with me here, folks. Words do not belong to the privileged. You should not have to pay to use language. Any sort of language. You should not have to pay to write your story. You should not have to live under the threat of getting sued because some asshole decided to trademark a word, not a brand, a word. That is what this legal precedence is. Now, there's all sorts of people out there who are trademarking words to prevent other people from using them. And in the writing community, words are the only thing we have. Like, why would you try to prevent the use? Like, imagine if all words were trademarked, each novel would be like 3 words, 3 letters. Like, just, it would be, it's absurd. It's ridiculous. Now, granted, from what I can tell, most of the court judges that have been seeing to these trademarking issues are just as baffled as we are, and are just as like, really? This is my Tuesday? All right. I'm not happy about it. So they don't seem to be taking it, I mean, they're taking it seriously, but they're not accepting these trademarks, as from what I can tell. I don't know if that's going to change. I don't know if something else has happened in the last 40 minutes. But from what I can tell, they're kind of going, no, this is stupid. We're not going to let you guys do this. You're basically bullying other writers into doing what you say. Also, I'm going to sound like a real bitch right now, and I don't care. If your writing is so bad that you have to trademark a word to prevent other people from using that word so that only your books show up in a Google search, why don't you take a look at yourself? Take a look at your writing. Take a writing class. I'm sure there's a community college somewhere near you. Just learn. Learn your craft a little better. Don't be a bully, and don't be an asshole, because the world has enough of those already. And the last thing the writing community needs is more censorship. The last thing the writing community needs is to feel pressure from legal suits, authors who don't know how to write, bullying them into that was loud. Bullying them. That's the last thing any of us needs. And it's upsetting, it's disturbing. I know this video is super long. It's because I'm really angry about it. And I'm probably going to be doing another like follow-up to this. This is stupid. This is so stupid. And it's even more stupid that Tumblr keeps going off. But what really matters is that people aren't standing for this. So I'm really, really happy. I'm very proud of the writing community that have stepped up and been like, oh, hell no. No. We're not going to let you do this. Because a lot of people have been sending in petitions to, petitions of opposition. That's probably not the right word, but whatever. A lot of people are saying, no, we're not going to let you do this. And I'm very, very happy about that. I myself am one of those people. Can't tell you how many petitions I've signed and how many letters I've sent in, but it's something that we should all be concerned about. It's not just writers. It's all creative people. And don't let the bullies win. Like, your words matter. Your story matters. And somebody being so insecure with their own writing that they have to limit the pool of possibilities, they're not going to win. It's just really infuriating. And it's infuriating to witness, but it's also really been very inspiring to see people stand up and go, no, we're not going to take this. We're not going to let people bully other people into not using words. Because I'm going to say it again, words do not belong to the privileged. And that is something that I will absolutely fight 110% for. And I know this video is a little ranty and political-ish. Not really, but still. It's something I'm very passionate about. And it's 95 degrees here. So I'm going to take my frustrations out on somebody. Anyway, if you want to learn more, I'm going to be posting links to things, the resources I found. If you need information on how to trademark your work because you are afraid that somebody might steal it, I will be linking to, like, here's why you should trademark. And I'm going to try and find more concise. The sites that I found weren't as concise. They were definitely more for, like, lawyers and I am not. So I'm going to try and find a little bit more accessible articles and resources for people to help them trademark their work. I will probably be one of those people. I'm gonna practice what I preach here. But in the meantime, just keep writing your hearts out. Keep trucking. Keep caffeinating. And stay awesome. Love you.